misleading book that should be reported. This book is not about wealth, but more like a tale of a woman getting pregnant by a married man and plenty of fish within 90 days, when the man inevitably goes back to his wife because of the author's bad gynecological odor hygiene. This woman stalks and bashes him on social media. This book is a continuation of this harassment and stalking. Her son with the married man is nonverbal and disabled, but she refuses to get him the help that he needs. This is neglectful child abuse. This book is highly disturbing and disgusting with poor grammar and bad advice. Like, you talking about poor grammar and you couldn't even post this comment properly? Like, did you read your own comment, troll? Come on, y'all. Let me tell you why I can always know. I always can spot a YouTube troll from a mile away, because the black sector of YouTube has so many remedial like trolls. Is ridiculous. So when they try to post somewhere else, you can still like see that it's them. So listen to this. No Amazon review in the history of Amazon reviews would be of this kind of vitriol, meaning it wouldn't be an attack if it was genuinely written by someone who was a real customer. One thing I've noticed about having so many customers, so many clients, and just dealing with people all day on social media, and anyone who has a business, a service, or a product, they notice. When you're dealing with people who have genuinely like purchased your product or your service and they aren't satisfied with it, they don't really attack you. They'll flat out be like, hey, this book is not what I thought. Now, mind you, this is just hypothetical because no one who has purchased my book has sent me some type of complaint. But if they did send me a complaint, it wouldn't look like this message on the screen. It would just flat out be like, I thought the book was going to be something else. I thought the book was going to be useful. It's just not my cup of tea. And then they might ask for a refund. Okay? Even with my graphic design client, if I made a design that they didn't really like, they would just say that and be like, can you do this over? They wouldn't attack my personal life or attack, my sense of judgment as far as design goes, or bring up some rumors that they heard about my design from someone else, or, you know what I'm saying? They just don't. That's not how customers really do things. You know what I mean? This person actually left a comment a couple of days back, and Amazon just deleted their comment just because they broke community guidelines. And so this person decided to come back for a second time and post this comment. I believe it was yesterday. And I was like, this person pressed. This person really wants some shine. They really need some attention because most likely they aren't getting the attention that they want from other sources, So usually anytime I post something on YouTube and it gets around in the black sector of YouTube community, a lot of the comments inside of my comment sections of anything changes, and you can tell it's a whole bunch of trolls swarming, and they're just YouTube trolls, right? So I knew this person was from YouTube because yesterday I posted a video about another comment that I got from a troll on YouTube. And so this is just, sheeple. They like to follow each other. So if one troll, post something ridiculous inside of somebody's comment section, to them it would be entertaining for them to do it as a team. You know what I mean? They like to entertain each other. They like, to provoke people to feel some type of way. I don't feel some type of way about this. I can't feel some type of way about comments that don't apply to me. If it don't apply, I let it fly. You know what I mean? When I posted the video yesterday about the leasing of cars, car repossessions that they were talking about, living in a hotel, things that I've always admitted just publicly. It was easy for me to not feel uncomfortable or angry about them posting these things, because these things are things that I've publicly said about myself. What's disturbing is that someone would call me a fraud and try to make it seem like I would hide the fact that I love leasing cars, and I don't think owning a car is a good idea. And inside of my book, I talk about how Uber had a program where they allowed me to get a car from them so I could drive Uber. I talk about that inside of my book. So if you didn't see the last comment that someone left me in the last video, go check it out. It's an Amazon review where a woman was just basically saying that I was a fraud because I lease cars and all of this stuff. But inside of the book, that's what it says. So anyway, the one common denominator that keeps being reposted from trolls is that the book isn't about wealth. And the book is very much about wealth. And I think if you go onto Kindle, you know how you can go onto Kindle and you can see the inside of the book, like the first couple of pages. To me, it sounds like people who are leaving a comment, they're going to go look at Kindle. They're not buying the book, but they're going to go look at Kindle, and they see me talking about how I ended up broke, and how I ended up broke right after I just fixed my finances. Oh my God. Let me rewind this right quick. Right before I fixed my finances, I was struggling before. Like, I have an up and down thing that I kept doing with my finances, and I figured out what the issue was. So I no longer go through that, but I kept going like up and down to where I have like these long patches of success and financial stability, and then suddenly things would tank, right? So before I met Priest, I had just finally fixed my finances. Like, I had a bad year, and I finally fixed it, and here comes Priest, and I'm financially in a good place, and I got my things going on, and I'm trying to find an apartment to live in, and here comes Priest. We started dating, and we're having a good time, traveling, going, doing whatever we want to do, and then I end up broke again because of my poor decision with him, right? And ladies, don't ever let a man fuck up your money. Don't ever let a man fuck up your money. Like, these niggas are not worth all of that, okay? They just really not. Don't let them, like I always tell women, if you give a man the power to feed you, you also give a man the power to starve you. If you have a man who's telling you he doesn't want you to work with certain people and it's going to affect you in a manner to where you lose the source of income, like, don't do it, sis. Because that's basically what I did. It ended up being broke because of it, because Priest was like, oh, I don't want you to work with this person, and I don't want you to do this and do that and blah, blah, blah. So I go from like 7 sources of income to like 3 or 4. And that's when I started struggling. So when a man is telling you flat out that he's uncomfortable with your sources of income, if he's not trying to supplement that income by bringing you something to help you financially, then don't do it, right? Because I was just trying to do it out of respect for him. So anyway, my son's father ends up making me broke, right? Like, again, this is all back in like 2016, 2017. Like, I met him 2017. My car was repossessed in like 2016. And I remember being evicted like twice between like 2012 and 2014. And, there's reasons why I was making these mistakes with my finances. And I've spoken about this on my channel before. But ever since me and my son's father broke up and I moved to California, and people was wondering how I did it, right? Because people go through stuff all day, every day. So I decided to write a book about it. And if you checked out the last video I did about the last Amazon troll who posted something, inside of it, I was just talking about how I re-released my book. The first release of my book was so bad, Grammarly had fucked it up. Grammarly, like, I used Grammarly. I should had it so messed up. So I went ahead and revamped it, rewrote it, added some things, and then put out a new edition of the book. And that's what this is. This is the new edition of the book. And the same trolls who were trolling in the first time around are the same trolls that are trolling this time around, and they want some attention. The book is definitely not misleading. Like I explained in the last video about Amazon reviews. As a business owner, right? I want to say this before I continue. Let me say this. As a business owner, you can never take stuff like this hard. Okay? Like, do not take things personal, what people be doing online. Because you never know the motive behind why people do this. Like, somebody could have told this person to write this. Somebody could just be having a bad day and write some shit like this. Somebody, like, I try not to take it personal when I see people like write comments like this, because it's so off the wall. You just know that there's something going on in somebody's mind that you can't get mad at. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it don't apply, let it fly. Like, it's just not something to sit here and continuously be worried about. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not. And so with this, she says the misleading book that should be reported. It's not a misleading book. Book is definitely about wealth. It's about finances. It's about entrepreneurship. It's about social media. It's about making money online. It's about relationships as well, and being careful about who you work with and who you are in a relationship with, because they can fuck up your finances. I also talk about my history with money. So the book is definitely about money. So it's not misleading at all. This book is not written about wealth, but more like a tale of a woman getting pregnant with a married man and plenty of fish within 90 days. No, that's not. It's not about a tale of a woman getting pregnant with a married man. No, it's not. It's not about that. I really feel like, I don't even think I got pregnant in the 3 months. No. Because me and my son's father, we got together and like we started talking in March of that year. So by the time we ended up in a relationship, it was June. We hadn't even had sex yet until like June. So that's March, April, May, June. That's 4 months. And then I didn't get pregnant until like August. So yeah, that's inaccurate. So if we want to be technical, I met my son's father in April. We talked all the time. We hung out, March, April, May, June came, and we decided to be in a relationship. July, we was in a relationship. Then August, the end of August, we decided that we wanted to like live together and shit. And so, yeah, I got pregnant around that time. And then August, September, October, and then November we broke up. Yeah, so that wasn't it. Okay, it says, when the man inevitably goes back to his wife because of the author's bad. You know what's weird? Every time somebody mentions like body odor, I always think of this same lady, because it was this one old lady who kept making videos about my vagina. You know what I mean? Like, and I was like, I don't know this old ass lady. I used to call her a geriatric troll because she used to make videos about my vagina. And I used to be like, why does she keep talking about my vagina like she experienced it? And I think this whole thing about me having body odor and shit, like I be seeing people, it don't be people, it don't be regular people, it be like YouTube trolls. I be seeing them come in my comments sometimes and talk about like my hygiene, and I keep trying to tell everybody, like, you can't listen to someone who's never been with me about how I smell. You know what I mean? And I remember me specifically talking about how everything smelled when I was pregnant. And it didn't mean me or, just I smelled or like pre-smelled. It's just when you're pregnant, right? Your sense of smell changes. And that's why a lot of women get nauseous and vomit, because when you smell something, it smells so bad to you or off to you, it makes you sick, right? So that's what I spoke about when I spoke about body odor. I was talking about how everything smelled, like people smell different, just people in general, not just priest or me. But this older woman, this geriatric troll, took it upon herself to try to make it seem like, oh, Soncerae said that her vagina stink and blah, 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 blah. And I remember a sponsor coming to me, wanted me to promote boric acid for women who have a pH that's off. Because usually vaginal odor is like a normal thing. Anyone who has talked to a doctor or a gynecologist or a real nurse will tell you that vaginal odor is like a real thing that a lot of women are dealing with. And a lot of times when they have sex with men, their pH is off. Because a lot of times men are having sex with women and they aren't clean. And a lot of men think when a woman has vaginal odor, it's because she's dirty, when really it's him not cleaning his penis. And a lot of people don't know how vaginas really work. And that's how it works. Like, a woman could have sex and her pH is knocked off. And so anyway, with me being pregnant, of course, my pH was different, but there was no vaginal odor. And I heard someone say that my son's father said that I had vaginal odor, but I think that's something that men say when they are rejected or they feel negatively about a woman. That's the first thing they do. Like with women, when a woman is hurt by a man, the first thing she say is, he has a little penis. Even if he doesn't, she'll say he has a little penis or blah, blah, blah. In my case, my son's father definitely had like a regular sized penis. It wasn't like no huge penis or anything. But he did have erectile dysfunction and premature ejaculation. And I've been honest about that. Like, that's not something, I'm just going to say to just be hurtful about a man. But because that's a real problem that men have. Just the same way as women have a problem with like vaginal odor and stuff. So anyway, boric acid usually changes that. Even chlorophyll. Like chlorophyll, y'all know what chlorophyll is? It's like this green substance that's inside of plants. You can put the chlorophyll inside your water and drink that every day, and your body will change. Like, it's people start drinking chlorophyll and they don't even have to wear deodorant anymore, because it naturally cleans you from the inside. And plus, you're drinking a lot of water. If you drink chlorophyll, you got to drink a lot of water. And so the combination of the water and the chlorophyll cleans out your body. So anyway, I don't have a personal hygiene problem. Like, I wash just like everybody else. And if I don't wash, I'll smell just like everyone else. And I wash, I'm a very clean person. And that's another thing that I heard a rumor, someone say that my son's father said I was like messy, and that's not true. Like, my family knows, like everyone knows I have OCD. So I'm very like organized, and if I ever am surrounded by a mess, it's because I'm having like some type of mental breakdown where I don't know how to juggle something. Or like when I get depressed, and I think a lot of people have this, when I get depressed, everything around me gets messy. Like it's like my desk will be messy. But on a regular like time, like if just me naturally, I'm a very clean and organized person, and you kind of gotta be to be able to do what I do. So anyway, the fact that people keep like bringing this up, it's like they're trying so hard. Like, her personal hygiene is this, her personal hygiene is that, and the funny thing is, this is coming from people who have never interacted with me. So you don't know what it's like to be in my presence. But I love like Bath and Body Works and perfumes. Me and my daughter started a perfume collection. When I first started dating my son's father, he knew I liked this spray called Pink Chiffon. I used to smell like it all of the time. And when we started living in the back of his truck, the mosquitoes was coming for me. Like, the mosquitoes was trying to eat me because of the Pink Chiffon body spray. So I had to stop wearing a body spray because we were living in the back of a Ford Explorer, and I was sitting here trying to hold my man down, But I think that this whole thing about my body odor and stuff, that shit getting old and tired. Like, it doesn't bother me. Like I said, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. Like, I know me, and it's not me. You know what I mean? Like, I know how to shower. I know how to put on perfume. I know how to wash my vagina. I know how to, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, I can't take it personal. I can't take it personal because it doesn't apply to me. And other people's like criticism or judgments or lies or mistreatment or, I just chalk it up as their own personal problem. They're dealing with some things, and this is how they're, trying to handle it. And it's unfortunate. It's bad, but life ain't fair sometimes. I can't control these people, right? That's just one thing that, like, I keep seeing in my comments, in my YouTube comments all the time, and it's trolls, and it's the same group of trolls, because no one else, like, posts some shit like that. Like, it's always somebody part of the YouTube community. That's how I know. It's always the same, like, tired-ass rumors, the same bullshit. It's always the same stuff over and over again. It's never anything new. That's how I know it's the same people. Like, they can't never come up with, like, a new thing to say. Because, it just sounds more entertaining to say the things that they're saying. Like, she stalks and bashes him on social media. I don't stalk a priest because I don't know where he is. I don't care where he is. You know what I mean? Like, people have sent me, like, screenshots of where he is. Maybe he's in Atlanta or Miami. I think somebody sent me a picture of him on the beach in Florida one time. I don't think it was Miami. I think it was another beach. Anyway, somebody sent me a picture of him on the beach. Wherever he is, if people recognize him, they'll send me something. But no one is like, I know for me, I'm not stalking him because I don't care. He's not of value for me to stalk. It's just, I'm just not interested. You know what I'm saying? And of course, it would probably make him feel better about himself if I was, in fact, stalking him. So I wouldn't be surprised if this was something that he was telling people or something like that. But I don't call him, stalk him. I don't know where he is. I don't care. I don't talk to him. As long as he keep paying his child support, that's all I care about, because it's helping my son. It's building my son's portfolio, his stock portfolio. And that's all that matters. It's chump change. It's not like it's a lot of money. I think it's like $264. It's not a lot of money. So I'm not pressed. Nothing about my son's father is appealing. The reason why my son's father was appealing when I was with him was because I made him that way. It wasn't because that's who he was as a person. It was because I had adoration for him because of certain things. And when I realized that he wasn't the person that he was pretending to be, it was nothing left to love. You understand? The person that I was in love with was a make-believe character. It was a man he wasn't. So the person that I fell in love with, the priest that I know, is not a real person. So this person who's my son's father, this complete stranger that I don't know, because he was hiding who he truly was, I can't be attached to him because I don't know him. I can't stalk him because I'm not interested in him. I was interested in the person he was pretended to be. I didn't know he was pretending to be that person, and that's the person that I fell in love with. But now that I know the truth about that individual, I'm not interested in him because it's nothing attractive about him. Because you got to understand, my son's father is not just like, he's not some type of successful man who has all of this money and has all of this education, and he has all of these accolades and rewards that he's won and these amazing things that he's done as a person. He doesn't have that. He doesn't have college education. At the time when I was dating him, he didn't even have a GED. The hair on top of his head is missing. He's balding like crazy, but he got a whole bunch of dreadlocks in the back, and that just looks ridiculous. His oral hygiene is all crazy. His teeth is all crooked. He got rotten teeth in his mouth. He's always spitting and shit all the time like a goddamn camel. You know what I mean? It's so the things that I appreciated about him that had nothing to do with those things was a man he was pretending to be. It wasn't like it was him. So when people are offended that I talk about this person who conned me, lied to me, and was a fraud and was misleading me, it's weird to me, because what you expect me to do? You expect me to be like, oh, I forgive you, I love you anyway? No. I'm very upset that a man pretended he was one way, pretended he wanted to marry me, pretended he wanted to start a family, and then when that family gets rolling, he wants to tell me who he truly is as a person. That's bullshit. And so that's not something I'm ever going to forgive. It's not a forgivable thing. It's like this con artist came into my life, pretended he was in love, pretended he wanted to be married, pretended he wanted to have a family, but the entire time he just wanted to sleep around with other women. He wanted to sleep around with his ex. He wanted to sleep around with other women. And that's his personal choice. And I have no problem with people choosing what they want. It's just, stop misleading people along the way. If you are not interested in having a relationship with somebody, don't pretend that you want to. And people do that because they benefit from being with that person in some kind of way. I don't know what Priest gained by pretending he was in love, pretending he wanted to be married, and pretending he wanted to start a family with me. And I don't know what Sidonia gained for, backing him up and lying for him as if their situation was over when it wasn't. People keep saying he left me to get back with his wife, and that's not the case at all. That's not the case at all, because here's my thing. She was already gone. They had already broken up when I met them. So he didn't leave me to get back with a wife as if I was this mistress who was begging him to leave her. That wasn't our situation at all. Them two were off in the streets, dating people and doing their own thing because they were supposedly have been separated for many years. So my thing is, when people try to push this false narrative about what happened between me, my son's father, and his estranged wife, and they try to make me out to be this villain or this person who's trying to cause drama and stalk people, it's weird. No, I'm just telling women, please, when you're dealing with these men, right, make sure they're financially in a good place, make sure they have education, make sure they're healthy, make sure they are not still sleeping around with other women, or they try to make sure they're not promiscuous. And if they tell you that they're separated from somebody, even if the wife is sitting there telling you, oh, everything's going to be okay, you don't have to worry about us type of shit. If you have to go to her and get some clearance, some clearance so you can deal with them, and to make sure that, them two are not together, still don't believe it when she says they're not. That's the moral of the story. With Priest and Sidonia, the thing is, they said they wasn't together anymore. They didn't care for each other. And it was a lie. It was a lie. Now, again, I don't care what he's doing. I'm not trying to harass him. I don't care about him. I don't stalk him or anything. My son, she says her son with a married man is nonverbal and disabled, but she refuses to give him help. My son talk. I have a clip of my son talking and interacting with me on another channel I have. There's clips of my son. Here's my thing. Anybody that follow me on Instagram, they see clips of my son all the time because I put clips of me and my son in my stories on my Instagram. So you can see my son talking. You can see me and my son playing together. Just recently, I posted a clip of me and my son at the park on the merry-go-round. My son can talk. My son is not disabled. That's just something ugly people are trying to say. My son is fine. He talks just fine. He talks just fine. He talks so much, I want him to shush. I want him to be quiet. He's talking so much. Because he's oh. Boy. It's just the stuff he be saying. I'm boy, if you don't stop. But yeah, he asks for what he wants. When he wants something to eat, he be oh, I want some sausage, or I want some cereal. Mommy, can I have some cereal? He knows how to say, mommy, I want to go potty. He knows how, he talks. My son is completely fine. But this comment is somebody trying to be hurtful. And this is another reason why I keep telling people, if it don't apply, let it fly. Because these people don't know no better. It's I don't know. They're just trying to purposely start some shit. I don't know what it is. But yeah, my son is fine. I don't neglect my son. Yeah, I don't know what will possess somebody to continuously keep trying to claim I stalk people, but they stalk me and post shit like this on my Amazon reviews. You can't keep saying I stalk people when you're stalking me. Everywhere I go, anywhere on the internet, you post shit like this. Under the same name, same type of content, same, insults and shit like that. It's always the same thing over and over again. And sometimes I'd be like, is this Priest remedial ass in my comments? I'd be who is this remedial ass person? Child. Anyway, Don't take these comments personal, man. Do not. Like, these people, I don't know what they're doing with their time, but it isn't effective. That's all I know. It isn't effective. Good day, y'all. Good day.